Everybody beats it's a vibe.
Authenticity.
Yeah.
Being vulnerable. It was brought to my attention that there's a few people that didn't want to associate with CARESNONE because of some of the jokes that I've made and some of the very strong opinions that I have, and then the first thought that came to my mind was, that's perfect, because the whole brand is about fuck what they think. You know what I'm saying? And listen, anybody who knows me, if you watch this podcast, if you talk to me, you know my energy is not fuck everyone. But if I believe I'm living in what I believe is a righteous way, I believe I tend to give a fuck about doing things correctly and rightly and doing it right. It's gotten to the point now where, because I believe in this whole energy thing so deep, like if I drop a piece of plastic on the floor, like I have to go get it no matter how far it goes. Like that's how fucking crazy I am about this energy thing, because like I believe that that's fucking wrong for some reason, littering. So I cannot let that happen. I have to go. It'll be a string and I have to get it. That's where I'm at with trying to do the right thing. Trying. So anybody who knows that about me, and you can feel that energy. I feel like anybody who really fucks with me knows that I'm trying to do the right thing. So, but they didn't like and I will make I'll make a fucked up joke. I've done it and I will do it. And I'm like, you know what? What's funny? Because they were like, well, maybe you should be a little bit more cautious now because you have a business, because that, obviously that took away from a couple sales, right? And then for a split second, naturally, because you do need the financial energy to keep your business afloat, right? That's the pain point right now as an up and coming, as all small businesses, right. You're getting the financial energy. But I refuse to change the core principle of what the brand is based on a couple people who didn't, when there's so many other people who do.
And I'm also going to say nobody's going to, like, I was about to buy the shirt and then he made some homosexual joke or something like that. And fuck, I'm not going to buy a shirt now. God damn it. Like, I don't know if I believe that, but. Yeah.
Right. So, and I was just like, I'm just not going to do that. And then I told this person, I said, well, guess what? And they said they heard this recently. I said, well, you know what's funny? Ironically, recently, the sales have gone up since I've been more authentic. And going back to that .com book, there was a point in it where he was like, it was very, because it was right as I heard this, we had this talk. So I'm like, that's crazy. I just heard about this in this book. The synchronicity shit is crazy. And he was saying that it's easy to be kind of in the middle and gray and not to really step on no one's toes as far as but it's boring. Being polarizing actually is a lot more times, more often than not, better for your business. But here's what happens. When you make a clear line in the sand about haters, right? So then you're going to get those haters. But then the people who were okay, if they fuck with that point, now you've created an actual fan.
Yeah.
You can't get everybody. And that was like, so like, and being polarizing is like with Nike, they make some pretty strong, some people don't like the Kaepernick shit. You know what I'm saying? But they were like, this is what we riding with. It is what it is. And yes, you will lose some, but you will gain others.
Yeah.
Like, not to necessarily bring out Tavares, but we had talked about on the first time he was on the episode, and he was smoking weed. I was like, light up. And he was like, oh, you think we should be smoking weed on the camera? I'm like, yeah, why not? And he was like, well, because some people might not want to, work with me because of the weed. I'm like, okay, and that might be true, but then you'll get some people who will work with you because you smoke weed. Right, like, oh, they smoke weed too. Now I go. So, and I believe being authentic. How do you say it? Authentic. Excuse me. Being authentic and being willing to not get. That's where the CARESNONE comes in, because I believe this based on my life and where I've gone. The more I have just been myself, for better or for worse, the more people kind of relate to that shit. So when I tell all these kind of sometimes embarrassing stories, I told you about how I literally jacked my taxes off, like a very in my 30s, didn't give a fuck about it, just completely, just ridiculous. Like what kind of grown man, you know what I'm saying? These are the thoughts. Remember, I told you I was scared to go to your mom at first because I'm thinking she's gonna judge me, right? Mm-hmm. And
she's gonna turn you into the IRS.
That's what I'm thinking, right? So what I'm learning is, but those are the stories. Going back to storytelling that people relate to, especially in the social media age where it's by design, it's made to be the highlight reel. That's by design, that's what social media is, right? Yeah. So I'm like, no, if you can, what I've learned, and I feel like my sales have gone up the more I'm telling the real story about what I'm going through, especially with this transformation concept, let it go. Because one, it takes courage to talk about your bullshit because ain't nobody doing it, right? So one is just, and then you learn the power of how to tell the story. And then two, you might hit someone that's like, damn, I had that same issue, especially with me and the weight issue. I know a lot of people fuck with that. Like, damn. Right. You know, if he could do it, I can do it. So maybe I'm in a different field because I'm in here trying to inspire and motivate motherfuckers. But that, I feel like definitely in that game, being authentic and real, I'm telling you, and some people won't like it. So like even let's talk about when you're dealing with women, right? I'm very, very strong in my opinions and how I act, and I'm a little bit more masculine. I'm a little bit more old school. I'm a little bit more gender roles kind of person. That's just how I am. And that's not necessarily a easy thing to say nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Because the women kind of run in America right now. And on the Spanish show, they work hard and they fucking united together. They're actually dope as far as that's concerned. But I'm gonna stay with the fuck I want to say, and because I do it with this feeling of I'm gonna do the right thing, right? So what I'm learning is the more I just fucking own that shit, some won't like it, but the ones that do like it will fucking love it.
Right. It won't be a like, there'll be a love for it.
So it's like you turn, and especially in business, it's like, oh, okay, so sometimes you gotta, you know, like for instance, I gotta be willing to take an L. Like somebody say, well, man, that hoodie's a little bit too expensive for me. Then it's just not the hoodie for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I really think I'm at that point. And in the very beginning, that was really hard because they're showing interest in your brand and they want to throw some energy behind it, but it's too expensive for them.
Right.
But it's like, you know.
I hear you.
But I had to teach myself.
I had a recent situation actually like that with my modeling. So I had a lady hit me up and she wanted to book me for a modeling gig. But she was trying to book me for lower than what I would be paid normally.
Like typically?
Yeah, typically. And she tried to up it about a couple extra dollars, but it still was even lower than what I get paid. And I'm like, lady, like I didn't accept the job. And I was like, look.
This the other day?
No, this was a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago or so. But I was just like, I can't accept that because like it
was way too low.
It wasn't even way too low. It was only a couple dollars too short, but it was something that I had never been paid lower. I had never been paid lower than that before. And I'm like, I can't start that with you because I'll give it to somebody else, or I just can't start that. I'm not gonna devalue my time and my art. And it was a misunderstanding. It was more so on a play of she had some other shit that she had told her artist that was gonna be charged, how much it was gonna cost. But for me, I'm the model.
That's
I don't
a
got
you
shit.
problem.
Yeah, that's the thing with you. Like, if that's the case, then you just pay extra for it or something like that. But that's not me. Like, I can't devalue my brand and myself, especially my body.
There you go.
You know what I mean? This is my body at this point.
It's you. It's literally you, right?
This is physically my body, so I can't devalue myself for that. So I had to go through something similar. And actually, let me show you. I got something. I want to show the peoples. Fat Al.
Hey.
I'm on display right now at the Paladin Chisel.
Oh, that's what you was talking about.
Academy, of Fine Arts. I'm on display right now. I have a piece.
Is this R-rated here? Can we show
No, this is not R-rated.
Can you see it?
Yeah, that's good. That's good lighting.
This is not R-rated, but this is a piece of me that's I think this was a six.
Looking distinguished.
This was a 6-hour piece. It's on display at the Paladin Chisel Academy of Fine Arts. If you want to come check me out, I believe this one's selling for $850. So excuse me.
Well,
Shout out to my artist Shannon Joy Birch. Artist, you can find her at shannonbirch.com, shannonjoybirch.com as well. So,
and that is, I'm proud of you for doing that because I think,
like saying no, proud of what?
Yeah, or just being like, I don't want to quite give the nod to G-Eazy, but he has a line in one of his songs that says, "My rate is non-negotiable. You either buy or walk," and I love it. And I kind of take that into my business sometimes, where like rarely do I actually have people like, oh, we're used to doing this. Like obviously I have people that are like, oh, that's more than we wanted to do, so whatever.
Right.
And I've had some people like, oh, they'll like come up with some other rate, and I'm like, why did you even put this in the chat? Like, what were you thinking?
Right. Yeah.
Like, good luck finding somebody else, because I'm not gonna help. But
absolutely,
sticking to your guns is good, because like I remember early on in this business.
Because you want the work.
Yeah, well, because there's always that little like, oh fuck, like it's better than zero. Like I'd rather be working than not. But I always was like, those clients are the shitty ones. And like, again, at certain points, like I took jobs for like under money or free. Like I'm cool with that. Like it's
Like before
it's a
you even
different story.
knew, did you have to learn what to really charge?
Yeah, of course.
Right, so
yeah. Or like, dude, I mean, what to like really charge? I mean, it's a made up number.
Yeah.
Like it
All
doesn't
this shit's
exist.
made
The
up
right
numbers.
number to charge, like it doesn't.
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
Not real.
To go back to that first initial point, sorry to interrupt, is that the price really don't matter. It's just, well, is that person willing to pay that price?
Every time.
Is there enough value in whatever it is you're offering that they're willing to pay whatever price you put on it? Right. And if the market's saying, okay, motherfuckers ain't buying your shit, then either you haven't improved the value of it yet, or the price isn't, the market hasn't deemed that it's worth it. So you have to make your shit more valuable. So as far as the clothing brand is concerned, so I'm trying to brainstorm like, okay, so what could I do to make a CARESNONE product more valuable, right? So content, me putting my energy in and what I learn, and just in being a person, social proof. So when people take these pictures and shit, that shit is gold. And then me and Tavares kind of went back and forth. He didn't understand how important a digital asset is. Yeah. Because when somebody's like, these are human beings that have paid for some reason. So, and I'm actually going to do, what do you call it, mosaic art? Is that what you call it? Yeah. So I got enough now to make like a dope. I don't know what the main photo will be, but I feel like I can use that as an ad. I think that'd be dope, right?
That'd be good.
That'd be a dope ass ad.
Yeah, absolutely. Please do that.
And I think it would be cool. Maybe like a picture of, I don't know, whatever. Maybe the logo. Yeah. Find a way to do that. But anyways, but I'm like, dude, that digital asset is a motherfucker. To me, that's almost more important than the profit of a shirt. Now, and it's hard to understand. It's like, well, because that profit of the shirt isn't necessarily paying the bills. But I'm like, yeah, but it helps like get in the long term. It helps. The more photos I got, the more videos I got, the more I can do with those photos, and the more
assets. D Eric body beats, it's a vibe.